It can be hard to associate what happens on the surface. If you have a barrel full of material, or you're growing crops, or you're emptying oil from your car onto the ground, and to associate those actions with the larger environmental problems that I encounter with my clients. So whether or not there's a drinking water problem because there's chemicals being found in it, or a property next door to a client is suffering from soil vapor intrusion. We don't often link what's happening at the surface with what's going on down below us. Dirt is not dirt, and that's not actually what's underneath your feet. For us to understand some of these environmental problems, we have to understand what's underneath us, and that enables us to help predict whether there's a problem, where it started from, how far it's traveling, and how bad it is. So, depending on where you are, what's underneath your feet can vary quite a bit, and it's probably a variety of layers of different types of materials. So this is our surface, grass, trees, houses, what have you. Underneath that is probably a variety of gravel, silt, clay, rock, all the way down to ultimately what might be groundwater. And what type of material we have influences how materials like chemicals or oil or other things might move from the surface down below. Whether they're going to dissolve and kind of dissipate and spread and become low risk, or whether or not they're going to move quickly and in which direction. It depends on the material, the earth material, as well as what kind of other forces are moving that material. So just generally speaking, if we took something like gravel, think of it like a jar of marbles. And it has spaces in between it. So when water comes through, anything like a chemical or an oil product that is hanging around that gravel can travel with the water as it goes through the spaces in between the gravel. Sand is more like sugar. It just won't move as quickly as with the gravel, but it still moves. Silt is a finer substance. Water will start to creep instead of flow, like the slow traffic lane. And something like clay is the introvert of the soil world. So water will barely move at all. But clay also likes to hold on to chemicals. It'll act like a sponge. So if water hits it later, those chemicals might still move along that layer or get released. And then we have materials like rock, right? Nothing's penetrating solid rock. But if there's a crack in the rock, material can move through the crack. If you have a fault line where one layer ends and there's a break and another layer begins, it means that your materials could travel through it and end up speeding along that highway. The problem is that when someone comes to us with a problem that they think they may have at a site or they've been asked to investigate, until someone knows exactly what is underneath the surface, it's very difficult to know how bad a problem can be or where it's coming from.